What is going on, guys? Fortuna Lake, probably one of my favorite stays, boondocking in Yuma. Now somebody last week or the week before on the live mentioned that Fortuna was closed, and I hadn't heard that. I am looking around and I see nobody camping around the lake. Handful of fishermen. They seem to be catching fish. Let's go check out the signs, get a look. This one right here, as you drive in, no overnight camping, day use only. It's changed. There's a it's a lure. I suppose if you lost yours, there's one right there. You can do a little fishing. Taking a quick drive around the lake over to the right over there. Lots of fishermen parked. This whole area used to be lined with coaches. Not anymore. When I say coaches, I guess I mean campers, boondockers, anybody else that wanted to use the lake for an overnight. I would say the message is pretty clear. Yeah, that's too bad. Not exactly sure. I've looked online to see what reasons they listed online for closing down the area, but there isn't even the mention that it's closed for overnight camping at all online. That's why I had to kind of come out here and check it for myself and just see. I have been noticing the kiosks that are around the lake. Normally they used to line out the rules for camping. There used to be a 14-day stay here. It's not happening anymore, at least not for now. I've gone online, I can't figure out why, but if you want to come and park and go fishing, you can do that. And I suppose we can still have a live here. It is a pretty lake. It's peaceful here, it's quiet, I like it. I gotta grab my hat, set up some chairs, and it's open mic night tonight. So look for the link down in the bottom there, or on I think it's on the side. I'll put it out there in the comment section. If you want to join us tonight, enjoy Fortuna Lake and a little getting together. Let's make it happen. Hang on, I gotta get out some stuff and set up. What is going on, guys? Welcome to Happy Hour Live. Wow, I'm kind of blocking the lake. How selfish of that is me. Can I move that way? Can I move? How about that way? Get a little bit. Got kind of that Gilligan's Island vibe, but I promise you the rest of the lake is over that way. And yeah, it is closed to camping. I will tell you, I was a little down as I was going around and filming that. So I apologize if my tone, if my feel was a little bit somber going around there, because I love staying at this lake, and I have stayed here every year that I've come down to Yuma ever since discovering it, and it has been one of my favorite stops. But we're gonna pick that up, and we've got an open mic night tonight, and I need a little pick me up. I need, because I can't not come out here, but I can't come out here and boondock. So the least I could do is come out and do a live. So there you go, guys. How you doing? It has been a busy and a somewhat slow week. I've been taking it easy this week. We have plenty of signal tonight for the live, and thank goodness, because boy, that was really a struggle in for weeks there in Quartzsite. And thankfully I checked it before we came on and everything was looking good, so we should have pretty good tonight. So first in the house, let's go down the list, see who is here, and let's say hi to Dawn from Anastasia Park State Park on the Atlantic Ocean. Dawn, you switched over to the other side. You're not on the Gulf side anymore. I don't think I've been to that state park. So I know you have a trip down to I think it's the Keys, and you're probably working your way. It's got to be coming up here pretty soon, and I'm really kind of curious about that area, because I do plan on staying out there about this time next year. My long term is to be in or on the Florida Keys for the month of February. Now, we're going to see how that works out, because I still need to try and book it, schedule it, whatever you think. But Don, you managed to do it. So X fired up Cracker Box Palace. Wow, I got it on the first shot. How you doing, Bill? Sassy Pants for you. That is Miss Jean. Glad to have you here. Moving our way down the list. WCRV Adventures. That is Mr. Wayne and Miss Carrie right there. I think you guys are in at Monte Vista, one of my favorite parks. I hope you guys are enjoying it out there. I'm just a little bit jealous. A little bit. Uh, da, 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 da. So Jim and Sue Finstead are here. Hi guys, how you doing? Gosh, you know what? We need to talk on the phone, because I have not talked to you guys in forever. How are you guys doing? Glad to have you here. Cosmic Mermaid and Starman, glad to have you here. There is Desert Gypsy. That is Miss Bonnie right there, taking it easy, kicking up. She's kicking her feet up for the night and gonna kind of hang out hopefully with us there. Busiest woman I know. Absolutely the busiest woman I know. So, oh my gosh. I have to tell you, it has been, I feel like I'm kind of cheating. I looked at my temperature yesterday, not today. Today, I don't know if you can see it. We've got kind of a cloud cover going on, and it's holding the temperature pretty even. But yesterday, I was looking at 80 plus degrees, and I look at the news around the country, and people have snow and snowstorms, and I there is a small part of me that's like, that's cheating coming down here, but that's why I'm down here. I almost I almost turned on the AC the other day. I'm telling the truth, guys. I've been staying at SUNY Sands, and I wanted to tell you, I almost kicked on the AC. So got a couple of weeks there, gonna hang out and relax. Much quieter. If you guys remember my video from SUNY Sands, I don't know, what was it, last year, something like that. That is a very noisy park, and it is not failing in that reputation right now. They've been a little bit busy this weekend, even weekends. I'm sorry, guys, the military doesn't recognize weekends. They can't say, but it's Sunday. No, they're so. If it's one thing that I learned from the military, it's that there's no such thing as a weekend. Hey, we're trying to do a live here. I don't know if you can hear that. That's one of the things I love out here is the birds out here, and they're getting a little noisy, aren't you? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm not going to be here past 10, so I guess it'll be all right. Oh, they can be noisy. It is open mic night, and I want to invite anybody who wants to come on. I'm hoping Don will come on. I want to hear about where you're at. But anybody else wants to come on and say hi, you're more than welcome. Let me throw out a real quick control. There it is right there. Sending out the link right there. And click on that little link and come join us. We just open mic nights are kind of an open forum. You never know what topics we will get into and what we'll be doing. But and there's Dawn right there. Dawn, you want to come on? Say hi. There's a thumbs up. There's a thumbs up.
Hi, everybody. How y'all doing? Dawn. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I was expecting you, and I'm hoping that Gary will stop by because I'm using his cup and I'm giving him a little bit of airtime. And Don, if you had any cups, I could put that out for you. You just have to send me a free cup.
I don't have cups. I'm sorry.
Wait,
I even have to wear Bob and Pearl's hat, so
I saw it in your last video. Yeah, absolutely.
All my videos, practically. I do have one hat with my logo on it, which I think I worn once.
Right. Well, I can't. I need the hat. Can you do like a cowboy hat? Maybe we could do that.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, I do Bob's hat because I don't like hats, but wearing a helmet, you get helmet hair, so you have to wear a hat. And hats to me are hot. So
yeah. And where you're at is hot, I suppose.
No, it was 62 today. Low last night was 48. I think it's going to be 50 tonight. I think tomorrow will be 70. It was 70 just the other day when I've been filming this past week, so I've got one more hike to film, and I'm going to do that tomorrow. I leave Friday. I'm here 2 weeks, which I scored the largest site in the whole park out of 139 sites. I lucked out. They told me that you only could get a 35-foot RV in here. Well, I almost didn't pull my trailer over here first to unload because they said the road's so narrow you can't block it, blah, 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 to unload my barbecue pit and all that. I mean, my barbecuer and my motorcycle and other things. But I got over here and I'm going, I stepped it off. It's 120 feet plus about a 30-foot circle around a fire ring. I mean, this thing is huge. Now it's only about 20 foot wide or less, but it's huge. So, well, you know, so I backed it in and no problems. And so the lady called me about something, and I said, "Why do y'all say it's a 35-foot site?" She says, "Well, our engineers determined that the average person cannot back more than 35-foot rig into that area without taking an extreme a lot of time, because some people will take an hour to back in a simple spot, you know."
Right. Right.
So,
And
you know, I'm sure those are weekenders, you know.
yeah. I think,
But
you hear that a lot at the state parks, and they generally say, we have a 30 or 35-foot limit. And but I have taken walks through many of them, and provided you can get in and around, because there's generally every size of site once you get into them. And I've
right.
found that I think the biggest thing they're worried about is they haven't cut back the trees to allow for larger rigs to drive through. So,
Well, there's 7 loops out here. One loop's about twice the size of all the others. The rest of them are about uh, 15 or 20 sites. And 2 of the loops are marked before you ever enter, no large RVs. And they're
mm-hmm,
not playing. A lot of these sites out here are designed for like a truck camper, tents, or small
right,
travel trailer. There's probably only, I don't know, I didn't count. If I was to guess, 20 out of 139 out here sites that would fit,
yeah,
say, like a fifth wheel or
yeah,
a Class A 35-foot Class A or something, 34-foot.
yeah.
Uh,
And
like I
a
said,
lot of
I
those
love
A lot of those were designed back in the day when they didn't have
it. Right,
rigs as long as we're
right.
sporting now. So, I don't think they were planning on, 40-foot rigs coming into the park and staying. So,
Well,
see a lot of that.
I made the reservations about 11 months ago, so, or at least 10. And of course, you can't, being a, if you're not a resident of Florida, you can't make it more than 11 months out. People who live in Florida can make it 12.
Right.
But I use that website called Wandering Labs for $30 for a whole year. They will text you and send you an email simultaneously that if there is a site open based on the data you give them for that park. So for that state park in Florida, if you say you tell them your length and you tell them the range of dates that you would stay and how many nights you want, they will send you a text and an email, and you got about 2 minutes to claim it before somebody else does.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Now,
and
Don,
it's
you
worth.
said that you said that
Yeah,
before. Let me see if I can put up a banner real quick on that, because I want to come back to this. What is the name of that site?
wandering wandering labs.
Is it all one word?
No, no, it's well, yeah, because it's a website. It is.
Okay.
It's called
What?
Wandering Labs, but it's technically 2 words. But it's
Okay.
wanderinglabs.com.
Okay.
And you can put in all the popular state parks in Florida, including the 3 down. Is it 3 or 2? No, there's 3 down in the Keys. I have scored one of those. I've scored 4 total. Uh, and it's well worth it. I mean, for 30
It-
bucks. Now, this
Yeah.
park is not cheap. I'm staying here for 14 days and it's like $551 and change.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, now
but
you have your choice of encores or and there's I don't know if there's any thousand trails around you there. You just decided to
yeah,
go with the state park.
there's 3,000 trails in all Florida. And during the peak season, most people, and I have a pretty good membership, uh, can only score 2 weeks at a time, and you only get two during the peak season. And peak season
Right.
is roughly December 15th to April 15th.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that cutoff date on the end varies based on those three parks. One's 15th, one's the 5th or 1st or something like that, and I think the other one's the 1st. But you can't book more than 2 weeks, and you only get two of them. Now the
Right.
encores, you know, you can book all you want. I can't go park to park on encores as long as I put 1,000 trails in between or something else or 7 days. But the thing is, with the encores, I can't book more than 60 days out, whereas 1,000 trails I do 180. And I just was
180.
at,
Yeah.
I was just at for a week about 10, 15 miles west of Orlando on Florida 50, and it was Winter Garden Encore. And I'm
Okay.
going back when I leave here. I'm going back for 5 days. But the site they gave me,
Okay.
it wasn't designed for a trailer, and I can't even park the trailer in the overflow where they want me to park it. And I told
Oh.
them I had a trailer the day before, and they didn't say anything. So I left the trailer attached, and I wasn't supposed to do that. Are you
Okay.
there?
Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't. I
So
take it they didn't have a guard shack or something there when you go in that somebody could warn you and say no, you can't bring a trailer in here.
they're redoing the front office, and they moved the office to the back of the park by the back swimming pool, and they leave your check-in up there at the front, and you just pick it up and go to your site. I called the day before. You'd think they would have mentioned that, but they didn't. But anyhow, I was coming back, and they had me in a site that was about 32 foot long, and I told them that
Mm,
won't work. So the one in
mhm.
charge was not a very nice person, but the other lady there worked with me and got me a pull through for when I go back for the 5 days. And there's
Okay.
only probably,
Good.
I bet there's not 10 pull throughs in the whole park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I I have questions on the keys. Now you managed to score now the so this is an update even for me because I think the last time that I talked, you did we get Wandering Labs right down there?
Yes.
Because
Yes. That's it.
Jen Jen was asking Jen was asking, is it wondering or wandering?
No, it's wandering. You got it right.
Good,
You
good.
absolutely got it
So
right.
you now, the last time that I knew, you managed to score 1 week down there at one of the parks on the Keys. And guys, what we're talking about here, just to give some reference, trying to get into these state parks is quite difficult. And because they book so far out in advance, honestly, if you want to go to any of these state parks, and I think there's 3 or 4 on the Florida Keys, you almost have to book those 12 months to the minute. And I guess out of state residents, we can only do 10 months to the minute
11. I think it's
to try to
11.
get a site out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, I've got one down. It's John something. It's on the upper key, and then on the 28th of this month, I can call 60 days out for reservations at one of the two encores down there in the Keys, further down south, Fiesta Key or
Right.
Sunshine Key, and that's what I'm going to
Okay.
do in 3 days from now. Try to get a couple weeks there, and then
Yeah.
probably then start working my way out of Florida, or up through Florida over the next month or so.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah,
John Pennekamp is
yeah, that's it.
yep, yep. And last time I talked to Wayne and Carrie, they were going to be waking up at 8 a.m. or 8 a.m. Florida time, I think it was, the next morning. One of those parks down there. Were you successful, guys? Did you get a spot or a site? They are Florida residents, so they can book 12 months in advance. But even with that, I still say it's difficult getting a site.
Yes, I'm actually staying for like 10 days one time at there's only two in the whole state of Florida, and that is Corps Engineer Parks. So I'm gonna stay at a Corps Engineer Park. It's $12.50 a night for like 10 days. I'm away down
Right,
to
right,
down to the Keys.
yeah, okay. That is kind of a big deal because to go down to the Keys, to stay at any of the parks down there, if you were to pay the price, you're going to pay the piper, so to speak.
Yeah.
Um, I think the cheapest you're going to find is probably in the 170 range per night. It is very expensive to stay down there. So those state parks are a deal, but boy, getting them is not easy.
Well, I tell you what, I priced it 2 years ago at Marathon Keys, and a month was like 38.50. And nowadays, 2 years later, it may be probably $4,500 a month.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. WCR, they gave me an answer there. They scored 2 weeks at Curry Hammock and 2 weeks at Baha'i Honda. I know where they're
Well,
talking about. I think I'm looking at any of those really. I will take any of those. Trying to set myself up to be down there with the hope that I can be down there for the entire month of February. And if I can do it, it will be the most expensive month that I have stayed anywhere. So, but even that at $36 a night, it's still cheaper by far than, you know, even a week at most any of those places. So congrats on scoring that. And I'll tell you what, if I'm gonna have to hit up Miss Carrie and Wayne and get advice on how to get in on setting
yeah.
those up, because I've got a couple months yet before I can start making my reservations.
The question is which Corps Engineer park?
Mm, yeah.
And I don't know. It's OSOU at Lake, and there's no way I'm gonna have to spell it OKEECHOBEE.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the
I'm
Corps
not going to try
Engineer.
to pronounce it.
No, no, and it's like I said, it's like initials. It's it's OSOU. I don't know. Maybe that is the loop. I'm there for. Actually, I'm only there. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I'm there for 13 nights anyway.
Nice. Well, Wayne and Clary seem to like it. There you go. They said that's in the middle of state. We've been there. It's very cool. So there you go.
Well, I think it's a little bit further south than the middle, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well,
It's
you
been a
can
while since
have
I.
the middle all the way from north to south, can't
Oh,
you?
got you. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
But
true.
I
Good
know what
point.
you mean. Now, have you had a plan? Because I the last time that I hit Florida, it was kind of it was not much of a plan until we figured out how hard it is to book places in Florida during the winter.
Yeah,
And I cruised into Florida basically thinking I was just going to call one of the sites and make a reservation just a few days before I got there. Yeah, you're not going to do that in Florida.
right. I uh,
Really,
I
not
do have
any of
I do have one night on my way down the Keys. I'm going to spend the night at a Cracker Barrel, and towards the middle or end of April, that may be very hot. So I may book a encore for one night, which is breaking my rules to do that kind of stuff, just so that I can plug in for that night because I got a feeling it's going to be hot.
them,
You
right?
know,
It might
but
be. It might
yeah,
be. I don't know. That's it's a lot of that state really is, and those that have been down to Florida could probably confirm that. The weather is really tempered by the water all the way around it, and that's usually what's going to control your temperatures. Not always. The thing that
right.
will get you in Florida though is the humidity. How has the
Yeah.
humidity been down there?
Well, again, it's no issue because it hasn't been hot. Uh, Basically, the whole time I've been in Florida, Florida is it rains a lot too. Uh, I don't know why they call it a sunshine state. You couldn't prove it by me. Of course, right where I'm at, I'm under a canopy of trees. I mean, this whole park is like a jungle. And if you could see my site, I'm totally surrounded. I basically can't see anybody uh,
Yeah,
because it's so thick. It's just carved out of a
yeah.
jungle, basically, just for your site. But I kind of kid the reason why Florida is so humid because every body of water they got a freaking fountain going, spraying water up in the air.
Well, there is. I think most of Florida used to be swampland. So,
Yeah,
yeah, it wasn't until we got a hold of it and said, "Hey, we could make a state out of that." I think the highest point in Florida is like 300 feet. That's going to be the highest hill that you've gotten in the state of Florida. So,
yeah.
yeah, you're right down there on the water, no matter where you're at.
Yeah, as you definitely you are. Water everywhere, water literally everywhere, which I assume means there's crocodiles everywhere too.
Yeah,
And I'm sure they get thicker the
yeah.
further south you go.
Have you been seeing the alligators out there?
I have not seen one. No, I
Really?
haven't seen one yet. No,
Okay.
but
All right.
I haven't been in a situation to really look for them. I mean, to see them. There was a lake at Orlando, Thousand Trails, Orlando. That supposedly had alligator. Matter of fact, I saw a picture on Instagram where somebody took a picture of one at that lake today. I saw it. I don't know when the picture was taken though. I never saw any, but it's
Yeah.
not like I was hanging out down there either. So, but
It's so and here's what my experience was is driving down there. I was driving around looking for alligators and I was not seeing any of them. And it wasn't until I stayed at one of the encores, and I don't remember where that was now, and some kids were standing there on the side of the lake watching something. And I said, "What are you guys watching?" An alligator. So I looked out there and I could see it. And as soon as that happened, I figured out how to spot the alligators. And from then on, I saw them almost in every body of water that I went near, other than the ocean. So, yeah, you will enjoy the free time right now, because the further you go south, the more you're going to
Yeah,
see. But
I figured
I
that.
saw them traveling back up. I saw them in South Carolina.
Yeah. Oh, I know they got them up further north here too. Definitely. Matter of fact, I saw a picture. Well, they know when it freezes and the water freezes over to get that snout above the water line. So when they get
Yeah.
frozen in the ice, they can still breathe.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't even know that alligators
Yeah.
would be any place where it could freeze. So that's a new one on me.
I
But
saw a
then
picture.
again,
I saw
it
a
can
picture.
freeze in Florida too, for that
Yep.
matter.
You
So
can.
Bill says if you want to see gators, he can show you where.
Oh, there's plenty of places that you could stop and see alligators, you know,
Oh yeah,
on the side of the
yeah,
road. But anyhow, the place I'm at is just gorgeous. I can't wait to share it. I've been filming it all in 360. Even the ocean uh, it's just gorgeous here.
yeah, yeah. It is. I really enjoyed it when I was down there, and quite honestly, I didn't have any problem with the humidity. It I think if you're not there, and somebody mentioned, oh, Bill mentioned, it's usually dry. It's usually
Hmm.
dry until May or June. April is one of the least rainy months. That's interesting.
Yeah,
So
but if you like moss hanging from trees, oh my, it's all over this place.
isn't that something? Yeah,
Yeah,
I love it. I love it, and it's everywhere.
it is, and right next to a palm tree, so
Yeah.
it's
Now
cool.
here's one for you, because you covered the Ford Museum, and did a good job of that. Did you know? And gosh, I'm putting this out here. Hopefully, somebody doesn't say that's a myth. But I read it somewhere, so I'm not getting this. But did you know that Ford, in their first cars that they produced, stuffed the seats with that Spanish moss to use it as a seat cushion?
I wouldn't doubt it. I
And
would,
that
would not doubt it.
created one of the first recalls in the automotive industry.
Oh,
The newly formed because they had bugs in them, and they decided that bugs were not acceptable to be having in a car. So Ford did have to recall those seats, and I guess put cotton stuffing in them, or what have you. But there you go.
did you see the size of his original factory? And I think they put out something like, I can't remember,
Yeah,
1 million cars from that
yeah,
building. It's a building. I mean, it's
right,
amazing.
right,
How the heck
yeah,
did you do that?
right, yep.
But
Oh, that's
the original one burned down. So in Greenfield Village, next to the Henry Ford, they did a replica of it,
right.
because the original burned down. But that is a very unique place, that Greenfield Village. They moved in famous buildings from all over the country from that era, or older, and
Yeah,
put it in that village.
yeah. Isn't that something? Isn't
Yes.
that something? Man in a dream, right there. Yeah. And
Yeah.
yeah, Wayne and Carrie are backing me up on that. Ford did it, and then it was the first recall. They had to fix that out, and that's probably why, right there, Bill probably has that one. Chiggers live in Spanish
Oh,
moss,
ooh,
right? Yeah, so probably good reason for that recall. So
well, I guess chiggers like to drop on anything that passes by. I guess Spanish moss is a good way to do it because that stuff is hanging down very low, even on the main road out here. I mean, it
oh
gets on top of your RV.
yeah, yeah, and it's everywhere. So I could
Yep,
understand the thought that, well, yeah, let's just use that, and why not?
right. Yep. Why not?
Oh
Did Gary
well,
ever show up?
I don't see Gary in the room. I don't know if he's in the room or not. Gary, if you're there, here's the link right there, or anybody else that wants to join us. We're just chatting tonight, so
Get
no
Wayne and
particular.
Carrie. Get Wayne and Carrie come on and have them share it with us how they scored those two different parks. Maybe I got the wrong dates in for mine. I don't know what dates they're going to do
Oh,
that.
yeah, let's see. Yeah, Wayne, Carey, if you want to come on, you can, because I am soaking up all this information because I need to do that, and I need to get into at least some of those parks, and I'm going to try to figure out how to score um, some back-to-back stays so that I can stay down there, and because there's no place to boondock down there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's not.
No.
So
We should talk
that I
you into
know of.
going. We should talk you into going to Alaska.
Yeah. Are you going to do that?
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It, you know, me and my travel schedule, I just wouldn't, Alaska wouldn't work for me. It would,
You got
it would
15 months
take,
to take. You got 15 months to correct it.
yeah, right. Well, that would just take me too long to try to get up there. So I don't know.
No, I mean you got 15 months before the caravan leaves, so you could take care of things.
Oh, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I think that's going to be the summer that I am heading up the East Coast, and my goal is to try to be in Bar Harbor in August for their lobster festival that they have every year. I believe it's the first week in August, and then after that, I start heading south.
I think I was there in September.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, you were pretty close.
Yeah, I was there in September.
But you don't like seafood, so you wouldn't have liked the
No,
lobster festival. Yeah.
no, no, not at all.
Bee Trapper asks, what time of year are you going to Alaska, Don? When is that you guys have set that
Well,
up?
I really can't say a whole lot because it's not my trip. I'm tagging along, but
Hmm.
they're talking middle, crossing the border, middle May, late May,
Yeah,
2025,
yeah.
obviously.
And that's fair. If you know, can people get a hold of you and ask you questions about that if they might be interested in going?
It's not my trip.
Well,
I'm
but
already
they can
tagging
ask you.
along.
They can
So
they can ask you questions,
I
Don.
haven't done any research yet. I mean, I did years ago, but yes. Uh, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I'll be happy to answer anything I know. But when you haven't done it or
Right.
researched it yet, you know, you don't know a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah.
And that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of
I
sense.
think we're gonna
So,
do a stop.
something tells me if you are curious about that, you can get a hold of myself or Don. I know Paquito about it a little bit. That's it. That's all I know. A little bit about it, but
Yeah. At this
so
point,
we don't want to put it out here on the live.
Yeah, I mean, I did. That's not the reason why I did that. I was just trying to get you to go. That's that was the purpose. But
Well,
anyhow,
yeah. Well, I'm not afraid to put it out there. A, I travel very slow, and B, I have about a $400 budget each month for fuel. And unfortunately, $400 is not going to carry me very far trying to get up to Alaska. So I wouldn't have the budget to try to make that happen for even just for fuel, but not counting driving times. So
well, if you can drive to Florida, you can drive to Alaska.
yeah, I can take my time going to Florida though, Don.
Well, you can take. This is going to be a loose caravan, so you get to travel at your own rate.
Right. Hey, there is Wayne and Carrie right there. Are you guys ready to come on and explain yourselves? Yeah. There we go. We got it. All right. Come on. Get on
Oh,
here.
hey.
Hey, we got them
How
to
are you
do it.
guys doing?
Hey. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Shoot.
uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Put it back up.
I did
You
not like
you
that.
zoomed in the camera, Carrie. Zoom the camera
Sorry.
back out.
Oh, zoom it back out?
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding with
okay.
you. There you go.
So how are you guys?
I'm good.
We're
How
doing
y'all
good.
doing?
How are you doing?
We just landed in Marana today at that Vroom dealer.
We're going
Oh,
to get our Schwinn tech
okay.
taken care of. Yeah. the
Where
Schwinn-
y'all at?
Yeah. What?
Where are y'all at?
It's right by Tucson. We're
Oh,
sitting
okay.
in the parking lot of the Vroom dealer. You know,
Oh, okay.
the Schwinn tech slides.
Okay.
It's been a while since I've seen you. I thought you were going to be up in Monte Vista sooner than that, but I guess not.
Nope.
Now we're here today. We get the slide mechanism replaced tomorrow. We'll be at Monte Vista tomorrow, probably around 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys heard us talking earlier,
Yeah.
and we are looking for the hints at and all the inside scoop on trying to get state parks down in Florida, and we only have about 12 minutes left to the show,
Okay.
so
Well,
we're hoping we can get it in there.
It is not easy. We had gotten up at 5:30 in the morning, so we'd be good to go at 6:00, which was 8:00 Florida time.
Right.
And that's when they open up the next day's sites, and you literally have to have the countdown clock going. And this, we had a phone going with Angela, Lenny, and Wayne and I, and all four of us were on there. And the first day Wayne and I were the only ones that got curry hammock. They did not get curry hammock, so we had to get up the next morning. We got them curry hammock for the sites that opened up that day. And then we waited 2 weeks and we tried to do Bahia Honda, and we didn't get into Bahia Honda
The first time we tried, right?
And then the second time we got in and they didn't get in. And now they're just going to go and try to get into the Encore parks, I believe. But it's very difficult.
Oh, okay.
And this is the very first year that they have the Florida residents being able to do this. They also added another rule that's not on the books. I found out the hard way because I after a couple days of getting curry hammock, I called them trying to push my reservation out a day so I would line up with Angela and Lenny, and they said no. They said that once you get a reservation, you cannot make any changes to it until 15 days. Well, 15 days would open up the day after my reservation, and by the time I got a representative on the phone to push out my dates, I would lose that too. So
Right.
But a lot of people were doing that, not just because their friends didn't get on there and they're trying to get on there, but they would push it and push it and push it. so they could get like a holiday weekend or something. And then they would cancel everything but that holiday weekend. And it was really
Okay.
messing with the reservation systems. And it wasn't fair for a lot of people that were trying to get, you know, some dates, because it was just willy nilly. I would definitely get on Wandering Labs, and I would definitely, but when they say that something's available, there's Wandering Labs isn't the only game in town.
It's almost like you have to be on.
There's other ones that also do this, and you can also leave one for the state park itself. Will allow you to have like a notification system, but I don't even think that that's very accurate, because I was literally on the system and they came back and said that there was something available, and there really wasn't. I had put the 2 weeks from such and such and such and such a date, and then it let me know, hey, yeah, there's time available in that 2 week period. But I couldn't book it yet.
Yeah. No. Well, I'm probably, I don't even know how I'm going to be. If you're not a Florida resident, you have to wait 2 months after you guys get to have your pick up going down there.
Just one.
No, Florida residents can book 11 months. Non-Florida residents can book 10 months.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was 12 and 11. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But
so
I don't have a lot of hope right now.
I would, because I don't remember the other site other than Wandering Labs that does this, but I've seen a lot of people posting stuff and on YouTube that were successful in getting those things booked.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
that other site, and I don't remember the name of it, but it was not near as cheap as Wandering Labs.
It wasn't. I think it was $10 a reservation.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
not only that, but I think the monthly there was a monthly charge close to
Yeah.
the yearly charge of Wandering Labs.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder
Yeah,
if their success rate is any better. I don't know. Even with that, though, I mean, it seems to me that if you can get a reservation there, it's a lot cheaper than trying to stay at any of the parks down there. And
Well, I got 2 weeks where I'm at now, which is unheard of based on what I've seen and heard. My
Yeah.
neighbors, I've got a neighbor over here switched 3 times in the last week. So most people get a few days. I got 2 weeks straight.
That is unheard of in Anastasia Park.
At Anastasia, which is one of the, other than the Keys, one of the most sought after parks, I understand, in the whole state. And I can see why. It is gorgeous.
And if you can't get into Anastasia, just right up the road is a park called Fort Cinch.
Cinch, I think it is.
Fort
That's
Cinch.
north of Jacksonville.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's right at the very tippy top, as far north in Florida as you can get, and it has one of the old forts from the 1600s right there in the park. It looks very awesome. That's on my list. I want to get in there, and I think that one's a little bit easier to get into. Another one is just down the road from you, Don, is called Gamble Rogers. Is another one that I would highly recommend.
That's a state or a county park?
That's a state park, and they have sites that are like inland, that are kind of on the intercoastal, but they really don't have water view. And then they have some that are right on the ocean. And the ones that are right on the ocean don't have sewer. They just have water and electric. And the in ones are full hookup. And they're a lot easier to get than there you go. They're a lot easier to get than the ones on the ocean. But that beach is got the coral sand.
Oh, wow.
And I think around in this time of the year, you can actually do whale watching from it. It's just really awesome. And that's in Flagler Beach, which is a fun, funky little town.
Cool. Well, this
Nice.
park don't have sewer
Nice.
at any of the sites, and
Oh, yeah.
and everything's 30 amp. And the funny thing is, when I got here, within 8 hours, it rained, started raining. It rained for 60 hours straight, and I could not find my 30 amp adapter,
Oh,
and I've
no.
got a 50 amp coach, so I was literally boondocking. Uh, Thank goodness, next morning I called the ranger station. Can I get Amazon packages? They said, sure, no charge. So Amazon sent me a 30 amp, 30 to 50 amp adapter in less than 24 hours.
Right.
Nice.
And I had to ride up in the rain on my motorcycle, which is it's a 1.9 miles to the ranger station. And I had to ride up in the rain to get that and come plug in my coach because, I mean, I'm under a canopy of Spanish moss and live oak trees, and I cannot get any solar here at all. Plus, it was raining, so it was cloudy. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I had water, but I was really boondocking in the rain.
How is Starlink?
I haven't even hooked it up. Don't need it. I've got my T-Mobile home internet. I could not get a signal here.
Yeah, with the trees.
This is a jungle, folks. Starlink would not even try, so I don't need to. I got my T-Mobile home internet, and it's working great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not as strong as it has been, but it's plenty strong. I mean, like right now, it's low as I've seen it since I've been here, and it's like 45 down and 20 up.
Nice.
Nice.
So
You don't want to know. You don't want to know what our T-Mobile is.
We just tested it. It was like close to 400 down and like 60 up.
yeah. Oh, I've seen on my T-Mobile home internet 999 down.
Wow.
That's the thing.
I can't even compete. I looked at mine tonight and I'm just hoping for 1.5 up and 1.5 down in hopes that I can have the live. And that's AT&T. Now, granted, it's I've seen it go up a little bit and down a lot usually. So it's not meant as an internet source, but I've been using it for years now.
Right.
And so far it's been working, but I hear those numbers and I just kind of laugh. It's like,
well, Don,
well,
have you found when T-Mobile, when it works, it's smoking fast, or it doesn't work?
Well, it hasn't let me down, but maybe 5 minutes here and there every few weeks.
Right.
You're gonna be fine in Florida. Don't worry about Florida.
Actually, once it did let me down for about an hour since I've had it, and I've had it now 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
And I know it'd be different out in the desert, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But out where you have civilization, it works great.
When we were in Quartzsite, we used it. We were able to stream from it.
From your home you have T-Mobile home internet?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's like having it's just like having home internet in your house over a hotspot. Hotspots are pains. So
I have to tell you though, you have to be having it pointing in the right direction.
Right. Well, I have a free app that tells me which way to point it, and you know how much it costs me? $40 a month.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's not bad.
Unlimited everything. Because I have a T-Mobile unlimited for $50. They added it on. I was expecting it to be $50 more, but they charged me $90 every month.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna share this a little bit because we're gonna see what AT&T is doing right now. Let's share that one right there, and let's just go ahead and do a speed test real quick.
Oh wow.
This is done.
That is what we're operating on right now. That is your download right now for me anyway on this end. And let's see what the up is looking like. Oh, mercy.
That's why, Dave,
Oh,
you've been
come
freezing
on,
on my
baby.
screen. You've been freezing on my screen.
Yeah,
That's must be
I'm here to
why.
tell you that is.
You're
So
doing
yeah,
good
there
though.
you go. I so far. Well, thank you guys for coming on. We are at the top of the hour. And I am humbled by your internet speed, and
And I hope
but we're
no
gonna.
one I hope no one thought I was being rude about the Alaskan trip because it's not my trip. I can't speak. I don't want to speak about it as far as telling people details because I think they've got more than enough people going already.
Don,
Right,
it's
right.
Don, you were fine. You did everything great. What you said was
Okay.
absolutely perfect.
But it
And
may have
it's not,
sounded rude to some people.
no.
No,
No.
you're just fine. You're just fine. But
And
Let me talk
and
like
it
this,
is
John. Let me say this: it's nobody's trip.
it's nobody's trip.
It's everybody's trip.
It's your
Yeah,
trip.
yeah.
You're gonna do your trip. We're gonna do our trip.
It's going to be a loose caravan, and we're just going to fly.
I do highly recommend that you travel with someone that's got Starlink because you're going to need it up there.
We're gonna get some.
Yeah.
We'll have Starlink by then.
We're even going to have solar by then, John.
And lithium.
Yeah, you definitely going to need solar because I think we're going to be boondocking the whole time.
A lot of it.
Most
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, even when you're in a park, you're boondocking.
Right.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
we are going to wrap this one up tonight. Thank you so much, Wayne and Carrie, WCRV Adventures, and that is Mr. Don right there. What's the name of your channel there, Don?
Cowboy Biker Adventures.
Cowboy Biker Adventures. I have it somewhere. I have a banner, and darn it, I was hoping that I would find it before you said that, but darn it, because I was just looking at it. But anyway, always good to have you here, and we're going to wrap this up because we're a little bit over time. But I did see I'm gonna give Bill the last word of the night. Oh no, Cosmic Mermaid and Starman right there. There we go. And hey, good night all. Safe travels. Fast internet makes for a better day. No truer words. Live life full time. Take care, guys. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye. Oh, did they?